Ciao fam and welcome back to Milan, Italy, where we're here with our latest edition of Creators X for Vultr. I am very excited to be talking to not just one-time, but two-time hackathon winner with us this week, Kyle. Thank you for coming to take the time and tell us about the experience.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasurable experience. Certainly today couldn't have gotten any better.
It's hard to get better than winning twice.
Out of nowhere, to be honest with you. I really did not expect this, especially twice. I mean, it's a shock.
Well, I think that's incredible. Tell us what you've spent the last few very long days building.
So I call it the deals machine. Essentially, the goal of the hackathon was to create an enterprise level product. So I'm thinking, what do large companies need? Also coming from my pain points in creating businesses before, cold outreach, cold calling is like the scariest part of that, right?
Absolutely.
So I didn't have my scripts when I was doing my cold calling. I didn't know what to say, and it took failure after failure after failure to know how to maneuver my way through the conversation.
And rejection after rejection after
Yeah.
rejection. It's not just not hitting the mark, it's not just hitting a bad golf shot. You're usually getting a bit of attitude when it comes to something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the deals machine is a coach that will help you not only sourcing your leads, but how to source better leads and then how to get through that call. So it's a multi-agent system. You describe your ICP. If you don't know how to describe your ICP, there's a wizard that will help you walk through that. They'll ask you question after question until it's defined enough.
Important first step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of, especially a lot of, technical creative, not creative, a lot of technical developers don't understand why they need to niche down so hard.
Mm-hmm.
I had some conversations and it's like, well, who are you selling to? Oh, I'm selling to this broad category.
Or everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone could benefit from
Well,
that. My
anybody
favorite
Right.
line. Right.
So I made sure that it really helps you narrow down specifically who your niche is, who your audience is, who your target is, and after that, it sources the leads by first scanning the news, gathering a sentiment,
Oh, smart.
and then it can pinpoint more directly who the leads should be. So once you have your leads, there's a playbook that will pop up and based on the news sentiment, give you some angles to start the conversation. And while you're on the call, it transcribes it live to be able to give you some responses. If there's an objection, if they're not really feeling it, you know how to maneuver your way through it.
So real time, you essentially have a buddy
Yeah.
in that call, a secret buddy,
Mhm.
in that call with you who will say, actually, remember this fact that we read together? Maybe that's what you should bring up next.
Yeah, absolutely. Or if it's going well,
Yeah.
close it now.
Yeah,
Lock in a
yeah,
date and time.
This is the time. This is the time to stop selling and start
Yeah.
closing.
But even further than that, after the call, it analyzes the call and will give you sort of after work coaching and go into helping source even better leads. So I'm really proud of the fact that it's there's multiple points to the system, and the more you use it, the better it's going to get.
Absolutely, and it's going to learn from those phone calls that you had even a deeper knowledge base about who that ICP is and the lexicon they use, the questions they always ask. This is really smart. What? And I really like that you took it from approach of what's in the news, because that's a lot of how I do my research as an analyst and figuring out. I mean, I even think about business development that way. Ooh, that company just got some interesting press. I should probably see if they want to do a video series that's going to maybe make them look a little bit better or shine light on a different aspect of the business unit. How did you decide that was the good starter point for evaluating lead gen? Because I think that's really brilliant.
For this hackathon or in general?
Both.
I started it from my own pain point. I think that's a problem that most programmers have, is that they don't evaluate the market if there is a demand for it. And
Just
I feel
because you
like-
built it doesn't mean they're coming.
Right. But the beauty of AI now is that you can build anything you want, essentially. So I had a job where I had to make 20 cold calls a day, and I wanted to make deals.
Yeah, baby.
And I thought, well, instead of just Googling around or my boss told me to just search Google for clients. Old school. So I came up with this idea to you really find which industries are hurting. Um, who's gonna be the most accurate lead to call today?
Yeah.
And then through the challenges of the hackathon, it just seemed to fit perfectly into every level of the challenge. So
Which is super cool. Were you doing this by yourself?
yeah, absolutely.
Team of one.
Team of one solo.
And you found out about the hack on Thursday, right? Started on Friday.
Mhm.
What about this hackathon specifically told you I should just go do this tomorrow?
Um, I like I said, the challenges resonated with me. Building something enterprise level is really interesting. I'm always thinking of what I can build that can actually bring a use to to society, to the world, and even better, if a large company can use it, that's amazing. But to be honest, this is my first hackathon ever. Um, I don't have a technical background. I have a business and creative background. Um, but since getting into AI over the last year and now moving to Italy, I really wanted to come to AI Week. And I actually built another lead gen tool to find different side events and different people I should connect with. And this was the first one that popped up. And then after reading about the details of it, I was like, let's give it a shot.
Yeah, I've actually been very impressed with the event this week. The community is really special. So, for those listening at home who are thinking, wait a minute, he just said he doesn't have a technical background, but he's building all these tools. How are you building them?
Claude is my best friend now. Yeah, vibe coding is a little bit of a buzzword nowadays. I think it's you can vibe code a lot of things, but in the true definition, you are vibing with what you want. You're describing the vibe that you're trying to create. So once I've had plenty of practice with it. I'd say come up with a few systems and routines that I go through to build things, and the more I do it, the better I seem to get, the better quality
Yeah.
tools I'm able to develop. But it just all started from experimenting and playing around, and that's it.
And I think that experimentation phase is maybe less scary than some people think. I mean, you can just type in an idea or say, hey, check the news for companies that may need my services. What type of services are you trying to generate leads for you personally?
I guess more of a consulting and coaching. I'm leaning more into the side of destigmatizing AI. And like I said, from my creative background, a lot of the people that are connected with me are resistant to AI. I was resistant as well in the beginning. I was a photographer, and so I saw AI as a threat to my job. Part of the reason why I switched was to get control of that, and it gave me a lot of confidence in the fact that I can come here and hang with the kids that are studying programming, and it really just came down to your ideas, how good your ideas are. And so yeah, my approach now is building a community of people that don't know anything about AI and are afraid to learn and don't know where to get started. So I'm creating my own content and trying to document my journey and the things that I'm building, and hoping to inspire other people, from 20 to 30, and getting also a lot of people my age seem to be afraid that their job or their industry is going to be taken away, and
Yes.
I want to give people the tools to learn and maybe build their own company or
Yeah.
make money online. Internet money is great.
Who doesn't like a little passive income? Yeah, no. I like that. I appreciate the bold nature of what you just said there, though, which was where you were not necessarily afraid of AI, but not as interested in it, and very conscious of really what that does do to photography and the visual arts industry. But rather than becoming a doomer or a hater, you totally leaned into that. And I think was that a palpable moment for you when that happened, or did it slowly start happening over time as you started playing with the tools?
Well, I do see a pattern when people start to learn AI. Um, the very beginning, you think that you can just do anything in an instant, in a day. And then you start to produce some not so great things, and you realize, oh, this is actually, there's a little bit more technique to it than I thought. So I'd say I've always had a personality that I've done many different things in my life. I've started multiple businesses before. I've failed at it. I'm not afraid to try and fail and learn from that. Um, and also just, experiment and just
Yeah.
see where things will take you.
Yeah, absolutely. And staying curious
Yeah.
and exploratory. I think everything becomes less scary when you shine your flashlight rather than fumbling around in the dark or getting a little spooked. I'm curious from a speaking of the enterprise angle of this. So you wanted to build something enterprise scale, which I think is great for a few reasons. One, it's bold and requires a lot more lift, but two, it's also how you make money. And so I'm wondering what the role of the partners in the hackathon, companies like Vultr. I know Google DeepMind was a part of this one as well. We were talking to a few other folks from the organizations that put these on. How did that? I know you like the challenge questions, but I'm curious if the partnerships were also intriguing to you, or knowing that you'd have the technology to stand behind that architecture and actually scale.
Yeah, absolutely. So Vultr was actually a very essential part of this build because originally it was all locally hosted. I would run a script, it would produce a JSON file, and I would upload that into the tool to source my leads. So using Vultr allowed me to make something in the cloud, something that can be accessed for anybody from anywhere and not be reliant on me or my hosting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that was really the biggest part of it. That's the core of it.
Yeah.
There are some other partners that helped add in the shiny objects that you would see on the front end, but in the back end, Vultr is doing all the work.
And it gives you that you know you're not going to have downtime. You know that people are going to be able to access it whenever they want to access it. If you're selling this to global salespeople, they're working around the clock. And you know that if all of a sudden everyone starts using it like gangbusters, they've got the capacity
Yeah.
to handle those level of workloads. What was the energy like in the room when you got here? Was everyone excited? Was it buzzy?
In the hackathon building or
Yeah.
today at the ceremony.
Ooh, both.
So everybody was locked in yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was still, mid grind. I have to be honest, I finished my project the night before, so I arrived expecting to do a little bit of networking, making
Yeah.
some friends. But I respect everybody was locked in and finishing it. I think that's great. It's great that they also gave the opportunity to speak with mentors, to speak with the Vultr team, ask your questions. And then today, yeah, the ceremony, the speech was amazing. The hosts were great. I really resonated with what they had to say and their perspective on the industry and the way things are going. So overall, super great experience. And for my first hackathon, I would love to do more. It's been
Heck
very fun.
yeah! Well, now we're gonna have to see you at all of them. You can't just win twice and then call it. We're not ready for an early
Off into the
retirement,
best.
Kyle. We need to see the full career play out here.
Well, I hope you will.
I'm super excited to keep talking to you about it. All right, couple final questions for you. You were born in the United States, been living over here in the EU for the last 8 years,
Yes.
between Portugal and Italy. What is the number one thing you like more about living in the EU versus the United States?
Oh my goodness, that's a
It's okay
tough
if you want to give me
question.
5, but
Yeah, the cafe culture, right? How can you go
Oh,
wrong with that?
yeah.
Sitting on the side of the street, watching people go by, having a nice coffee. Um, I would say the mentality. There are pros and cons to the mentality, but I think the overall throughout Europe, I've lived in multiple countries and obviously traveled so much throughout Europe. Um, the European lifestyle is really a thing, and although I do have the American business mentality where I just want to hustle and I want to
Mhm.
do big things, um, when you step outside of work, they're all about friendship, they're all about community, great quality of food.
Oh,
So the whole
that's not even comparable.
right,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
here in Italy, oh come on,
Yeah, no.
yeah.
No, no, no. My belly's very pleased this week. I love these gigs. I like what you just said there, though, is I feel when I'm over here, there's a richness to the conversations you have outside of work or even within work where, okay, so we work today, we got whatever we need to get done, no matter how, drive is varying, no matter where you are in the world. But then, all right, now let's go have fun or let's go watch football or whatever it is we're going to do, or let's go sit by the water and have an aperitivo and relax and talk about how we're feeling about something. It feels like a culture of more boundaries between professional culture and cafe culture, like you're talking about. Do you feel that way?
Yes, and I must say I do run into some challenges with that as well because
I was wondering about that.
like I said, I still have that American business mentality, and so sometimes I do want to have a conversation about work or about ideas and businesses. But on the other hand, it's a great chance to sit down and have a philosophical conversation. Talk about. I do think that there are much more intellectual. There are much more intellectual conversations that are being had amongst your peers here, and even just let's slow down. Let's just have a nice glass of special beverage and just enjoy the sunset or something like that.
Yeah. When you're feeling a little like a thoroughbred behind a gate who can't wants everybody to run super fast. I know that feeling. I understand that hustle. I'm an OG Silicon Valley hustler. What do you do to balance that? Do you connect with community online who's got the same headspace? What are you doing to kind of feed that part of you while also enjoying this?
It's a good question. I think online communities are your best bet for that right now, but there is a certain desire for real in-person connection on that.
Yeah.
As I am a solo builder, I have done everything myself forever, and that can at times be a little isolating, but it is also quite motivating to know that I am, I push myself.
Absolutely.
Quite hard. So I think as you mentioned boundaries, I think there is that is a needed boundary to separate. Okay, I do my work and I work hard at it, but then when I need to turn it off and step away, I need to really disconnect from that. And that's also part of the healthy lifestyle, I guess.
Yeah, then you just go make some pasta with your mom and have a lovely little evening if you want.
Yeah.
It's nothing wrong with that. Well, okay, last question for you. Have you already thought about the next hack? Have you used your tool to figure out what events you might be going to next? Where can people find you is what I'm saying.
Well, taking it one day at a time. Next hack, we'll see. No, well, I'll be there, but right now, I just, like I said, I want to build a community of people who are trying to figure out how they can get into AI, how they can start learning. So I'm mostly on Instagram, but I am on LinkedIn as well for the business professionals. But I try to keep a very raw and real, authentic personality on Instagram to, just share my thoughts and show what it's like.
Absolutely. Well, we'll be sure to throw Kyle's handle in the comments. Don't worry, folks, so that you can check in and follow you. You're going to get a follow from me here after this. Thank you so much for coming to chat, for bringing that authenticity. And congratulations again. What a day for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the conversation. And I'll see Vultr next time.
Yeah, I'll see you on the stage next time when you win 3 times in a row. No, we just got to keep winning. Or when I call you because I need to use your lead gen tool, which might actually be sooner rather than later. This has been awesome. Thank all of you for tuning in. I hope you're feeling inspired to maybe take that brave step to go to your first hackathon, or maybe just get in touch with Kyle because you want to feel safe asking all the questions that you might have about AI. My name's Savannah Peters.